destination is on the right.
Alrighty, y'all, welcome back. As you can see, we've got the old van out for an adventure, and I am up here. I'm on a Native American reservation. I'm not sure of the name of it, but you can see the sign here. We are at the Wazingasabi Blackbird Scenic Overlook. There's an overlook here that looks down onto the Missouri River, and then you'll be able to see Iowa. Dang, that's a good looking van. It's the Blackbird Scenic Overlook. Spot that I've had marked down for quite a while. It's right off the highway, and just south of here is the town of Decatur, Nebraska, and there's a campground right on the edge of town. So we're gonna go down there. Fingers crossed it's not super busy because it is a Friday night, although it's Easter weekend, so maybe there won't be too many people out here. But yeah, you can see the river down there. I'm probably gonna have to break my phone out so I can zoom in and whatnot, but there's a little thing here with a bunch of information that we'll check out. Yeah, you guys can probably see the river a little bit, but I'll try to get some better shots. But I don't know what this is a representation of. Oh, an earth lodge. Guess there's a sign over here. There's multiple signs, so I'm not gonna read all of these, but oh yeah, so this all means something. You guys can see that. I'm not gonna pronounce this right. So it's the Omaha, but Umanhon? I don't know if that's right at all, but it says their beliefs were symbolized in their dwelling structures. Most of the year they lived in earth lodges, structures with timber frames and thick soil covering. At the center of the lodge was a fireplace, which you can see on the floor behind me there, that recalled their creation story. The entrance faced east to catch the rising sun and remind the Umaho, if I'm saying that right, of their origin and migration upriver. The circular layout of the villages reflected the tribe's beliefs. Sky people lived in the north half of the village, the area that symbolized the heavens. Earth people lived in the south half, which reflected the earth. Within each half, individual clans were carefully located based on their members' tribal duties and relationships with other clans. So if you want to stop and pause this and read that, you can. That's what I just read. I'll try to show you guys all of the signs, so if you want to stop and read them, you can. And then we've got this one here. So here's the Missouri River, and this is Iowa on this side and South Dakota up here. You can see South Dakota border right there, and here I am right here. And then I think Decatur is probably right there where I'll probably be staying tonight. So this says, when Captains Meriwether Lewis and William Clark traveled to Missouri in the summer of 1804, the river was much different than it is now. While today's course is controlled by dams and dikes, the Missouri River that Lewis and Clark knew flowed wild and erratic. Strong currents, floating branches, submerged sandbars, and crumbling riverbanks made travel on the Missouri dangerous and difficult. And I've stopped at a couple different places. One I think is farther up, that they had like one of the river barges that they pulled upriver. Yeah, here's another sign for you. There's a couple of more. If you want to pause it and read that, go for it. It's a cool structure, that's for sure. It'd be cool to be able to hang out in here and have a fire. I'll read the first paragraph of this one for you. Out of the small number of Umaho that survived European introduced plagues and warfare by other tribes. They became prominent explorers, soldiers, anthropologists, doctors, nurses, lawyers, and educators. These individuals not only served the Umaho, but provided healthcare and education for others in this area and helped expand civil rights for all Americans. And you've got some photos of them. This is the last sign up here. The Against the Current people, the Omaha, took their name during the migration up the Missouri River. Their earliest known home was the Ohio River Valley. By 1700, they migrated to the Blood Run site in Iowa, 100 miles north of here. After 1700, they moved several times before they built, I'm not going to read that, or Big Village in 1775. I have no idea how you would pronounce that. And yeah, there's these little N's on the top, just like in their name. Yeah, it's a cool spot. And it's a gorgeous overlook of the river here. All right, I'm gonna switch cameras so you guys can see it a little better. And then the river is, yeah, right down there. It's kind of a cloudy, hazy day. Yeah, this would be a really cool spot to stay the night, or man, even having a house up here would be really cool to overlook the river like this. Looks like there might actually be a trail that goes all the way down, but I am not about to hike that right now. Although it might just stop right here. Yeah. Well, it's a cool spot. I'm gonna snap a couple of photos and we'll get back in the van. Dang old dang, that thing looks good. What does this little sign say? Oh, just a little bit of information about the site if you want to check it out. No camping. Please respect this sacred area. I really got to get the graphics redone on this thing. They're starting to peel pretty bad down there on the bottom. It's definitely on the list of things to do this year. If you didn't watch the last video, which shame on you if you didn't. We built this nice cup holder, and although you probably can't see it because it's covered up by my boxes, we got that wood piece on the front of the bed, but we are set up to camp tonight. It's kind of chilly. It's only 55 degrees, and I think tonight it's actually supposed to get like right down to freezing, but we should be all right in here. Let's get out of here. All right, y'all, we've made it to a spot, and you can see the bridge that goes over into Iowa right there. The town of Decatur is right there. There's one other guy pulling in, and then the campground up there, I think, is more of like a permanent spot. But this is actually a pretty cool little park. We're right on the edge of the river. You can come down here and tent camp on the riverside, like on the other side of this fence. There is a couple of fire rings down there. There's one right on the other side of this little thing. This would be a cool spot to tent camp at, and you could fish the river all night. Have a campfire. Yeah, there's a fire ring right there. probably, yeah. You could get down there if you wanted to, but that's a good 20-foot drop right here. You've got the river and yeah, the big old bridge. Looks like there's something over here to check out, and there's a little creek that runs through. It's a pretty neat little park. I've driven by this thing 100 times going over that bridge, and I've never stopped here. I imagine it's going to be kind of noisy with the traffic, and it's a little bit breezy right now, but it's not bad out here. There is a public boat ramp also that you can use. I think that's over there. Oh, it's a historical thing. Original site of Decatur grist mill circa 1870. The wheel was restored in 1993. It's looking pretty rough on this side. I guess this is the mill side. Yeah, there's where the shaft would have gone in there. I think a lot of them were ran off of a windmill, and you can see the marks in there, and this just would have spun around and milled your grains and whatnot. You can't swim here, which is a bummer. There's a little bridge. To take a wander up the bridge. Yeah, this is cool. I wish I had a fishing pole. Man, it's chilly out here. I'm gonna be cold tonight. This would be a fishable spot. You could get down there pretty easily. There's traffic on the bridge. Yeah, this wouldn't be bad to fish at all. Oh, there's a little waterfall up there. All right, let's go check out the waterfall and then probably crawl into the van at this point. I don't know. I kind of need the fire to cook tonight, but I can cook inside. I'd just prefer not to do what I'm doing tonight in there, but we'll see how that turns out. It's way chillier than I expected. Yeah, I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it with this camera. It's a little bit farther away. This wouldn't have been a bad spot right here, because you would have been able to listen to this babbling brook. Yeah, can you guys see that up there? It's like a little dam, and they've got a bunch of busted up concrete laid in here. Slow the water down. I bet there'd be good fishing in here. It's coming right off the river. It's calm. Even that spot right there would probably be good fishing. You could wander down there too. I might have to come back to this spot at some point and try to fish it. So you could fish the river and that. But all right, I'm gonna head back over to the van. It's chilly out here. We've got firewood. I don't know if I'll use it, but it's not staying in the van. Got some tie-dye sheets. And yeah, our wood bit looks real nice in here, man. Real happy with how that turned out. I kind of thought there was railroad tracks by here, but I might be wrong. We're just gonna hear traffic on the bridge all night, and it's like an expanded metal bridge. You can see through it, so it's kind of a noisy one. Should have probably like vacuumed this whole thing out since it's been sitting for a couple of months. I don't have my screens for my windows either, but we have these that can open up. But like I said, it's gonna be chilly. Why don't we see what the forecast is here. It's currently 56 degrees, and tonight we have a low of 32. So yeah, it's gonna get right down to freezing. Not terrible. Stoked to have the van back out for the year. Stoked on it. All right, y'all, it is too dang cold out there. I am not going outside to cook tonight. I wanted to cook on the fire. because of what I'm gonna make, but it's already dropping in temp. It's already down to 50. It says it feels like 43 outside, and I did not bring heavy enough clothes for this. I was not prepared. I don't have my heater or propane heat or anything tonight, so I'm already getting chilly in here. But we're gonna go ahead and get dinner going before we lose our light, because I don't have lights up yet. I've bought a couple of different kinds of lights and neither one of them have worked out how I wanted it to. So I do have lights, but they never seem to be bright enough in here. So grab our box here. Got some of my junk. Let's see. We're gonna need this guy. Cup holder. Our burner. Go ahead and grab our lights. These are the only 2 lights I have, so try to get this done before it gets too dark in here. I need this. There is electricity outside. I should have put my heater in here, but I didn't check the forecast like I should have. Didn't expect it to get this cold. What else? We're gonna need our battery pack. All this junk under my bed. Let's move this out of the way. There we go. We got this guy. And yeah, somebody commented on the last video of me building these wood bits that I need something over here. I do plan to build a cabinet or something along those lines, although I don't really want to cover up my little fiddly bits on the side of the bed here, so we'll see what I end up doing. But tonight we are going to try to make a bagel breakfast sandwich. So I've got a couple of eggs in here. We have some sliced Black Forest ham. I already feel like I should put a light up for you guys. Why don't I try to do something here? Is that better? Although I feel like that thing flashes. All right. We got some spicy guac. I got a brick of cheese instead of sliced cheese, and this is maple bourbon cheddar cheese, hints of maple and caramel and molasses. It's straight out of Wisconsin. We'll use that for our cheese on there. We've got some sliced jalaps, and we've got some hot sauce. So I didn't really want to fry an egg up in here because the grease is, I don't want to splatter oil all over my floor, all over the carpet, but we will use minimum oil and see if we can make this work. I guess I could probably put a paper towel over it if I'm not worried about it, right? Yeah, definitely wasn't prepared for this weather. But we'll survive. It'll be fine once I get underneath the covers. We're gonna go medium high. Get that guy cooking up. We only need to fry 1 egg, so it shouldn't be terrible. Although the worst part is I don't have anything to toast the bagel up. I guess I could maybe set the bagel in there. We're gonna do it on a bagel. I've got these onion bagels. So that's what we're gonna use for our Sammy. And hopefully we can make this work in here. Yeah, we gotta use a minimal amount of oil on this. I don't want it splattering all over my carpet. My wife got these weird little, they're like plastic Ziploc bags. So that's what we're gonna use. I don't know where my egg container is at since we moved. probably good. That's not looking too shabby. What do I do with my paper towels? My yoke is super off-centered. Can you guys see that? But it's working. That's all we need. And the hardest thing is going to be, how do I slice this cheese? I think I got my knife somewhere. Should have grabbed it out of this thing. Shablam. Do you think I can actually slice it the long way? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe we'll get a good hunk of it. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It smells like maple for sure. That egg is ready already. Stick to our pan. I'm going to set that to the side for a second. Keep our fingers crossed that we can get it back out of the pan. I do want to warm a slice of this ham up. I want to just stick it on there cold. And I don't think I'm going to be able to fit both buns in here at the same time. Both sides of the bun. Hopefully these are sliced. I guess I got my knife. Yeah, it's sliced. Not too shabby. Smells great. Alright. Set this off to the side for a second. Somehow kind of toast the bun up a little bit in here. Should have had some butter for this, but we do not. We're making do with what we got. That's how we roll. That didn't turn out half bad. Oh, my egg is leaking. Bummer. Alright, we're gonna shut that guy off. Okay. Grab our spicy guac. Yeah, it's not toasted like I was hoping it would be, but I'm not at all surprised for how I cooked this up. We're doing guac on both sides, because that's going to be the best. Can I set this thing down without burning myself? Got it. Don't melt anything. All right, there we go. We'll go. Yeah, bummer that my egg popped. I lost a lot of gooiness. Let's get our egg on there. Fold it over anyways. Can we scoop some of that up? Oh, it's dripping. Right on my cooler. Egg, schmeat. Probably could have done 2 things of schmeat. Bam. Oh, well, we're upside down. That's fine. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Even if we did, at least the drips are on top of the cooler. And to go with this, I spotted these chips, and we're gonna give these a shot. These are a limited flavor. They are Lay's Wavy Fried Green Tomato. It says limited time. It says tangy, wavy, yum on the back of there. So we're gonna have a couple of these, and we've got some guac that we can dip it in. Oops, that was more than I needed. It's fine. All right. Dinner is served. That's a weird flavor. I like that. It's been a long time since I've had any fried green tomatoes though. How is it with the guac? That's good. That is a really different flavor, but it's good. Let's see if we can get that egg off of our cooler. All right, let's give this breakfast Sammy a try. Ham, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich. That's good stuff. That's good. That is really good. I mentioned in the, was it the last truck camping video, that I was gonna make more breakfast, but we're doing breakfast for dinner. That is really good. I can't really say I taste the cheese though. It's kind of overpowered by the guac. We're gonna just have to try this cheese on its own. Good hunk of cheese. You can definitely smell the maple on it. That's good cheese. Now I can kind of tell the flavor of it. Sometimes if you don't know how something is supposed to taste, it's hard to taste the flavor of it. But after taking that bite of it, now I can taste the flavor of it in the sandwich. Not many ingredients, and in all reality, that took like less than 10 minutes to cook this up. And it's messy. I don't want to spill any of this on the floor. That's the danger of the van. Yeah, I can take it in and have it detailed and have the carpets cleaned. But with the truck, it just Velcros, the carpet's Velcroed in. I can just pull it out and power wash it off. That's really tasty. I could make another one of these. If you can find these fried green tomato chips, I would recommend them. Yeah, it's a different flavor. Now I feel like I need to make fried green tomatoes, but I wouldn't even know where to find green tomatoes. Have not planted a garden at home. I don't know if we'll get to that this year. We still got all the property to clean up, which we're gonna get started on hopefully within the next month or so. That was a great sandwich. I think the onion bagel was a great idea. I didn't want to just put it on bread. Yeah, that was good. I could eat 2 of those. I should have used both my eggs and just made a double-decker. Oh, that was great. I'm honestly really stoked on how that turned out. It was just random things I grabbed at the grocery store to make a breakfast sandwich. I asked my wife what I should cook, and she said, make a breakfast sandwich. People asked about breakfast, and I just picked up the first few things I saw at the grocery store. That's usually how I end up picking these meals out. I always try to grab something different, you know? Something new. Try new things, new flavors. All right, y'all. I'm gonna finish up these chips and get this junk cleaned up. Go make yourself a breakfast sandwich. Doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock at night. Y'all, I got so into the sandwich, I forgot to use my jalapenos in my hot sauce. What was I doing? Now I almost feel like I have to make another one, but I'm not going to. Yeah, how did I miss the jalapenos in the hot sauce on that one? I'm sure somebody was screaming at me through the TV. All right, I got to get this cleaned up. All right, got dinner cleaned up. I definitely want to get some better lights in here. I just can't find what I'm trying to find. I've been actually looking at building a set of LED strips, like soldering it all myself, and see if I can figure out how to do that. I have a feeling I'm going to get cold in here tonight. Let me get these curtains closed up. I do think that the van does stay warmer than the truck does, because I know that there's like insulation, like real insulation in the doors, and if it's in the doors, it's probably in the roof and all the walls and everything. But I should have checked the forecast. Wasn't expecting it to get cold. Need to get these curtains trimmed up so they actually fit right. These are just off-the-shelf curtains. All right, downloaded a couple of new things. I don't know what I got all on here. Yeah, the traffic's kind of noisy out there. The bridge is cool though, it's all lit up. I don't know if I could even show that to you. Maybe with my phone. Yeah, you can see that. They've got all the lights on the bridge. Does look neat. What are we gonna watch? Dinner was good, man. It was really hard to not make another one of those sandwiches. I downloaded Uncle Buck. Haven't watched that in years. Guess if you guys don't know what Uncle Buck is, it's got to be like early 90s, maybe late 80s. 1989. When Cindy, played by Elaine Bromka, and her husband Bob, Garrett M. Brown, have to leave town for a family emergency, there's only one person available to babysit for their 3 kids. Bob's lazy, carefree brother, Uncle Buck, played by John Candy. While he immediately gets along with the two younger children, Gabby Hoffman and Macaulay Culkin, Buck must change his bachelor lifestyle if he wants to be a responsible caregiver for the angst-filled teenager Tia, played by Louisa Kelly? Yeah. Dude, I probably haven't watched this since I was like pre-teenager, so it's been a long time. Couldn't even tell you about the movie at this point. It's been so long. It feels good to get under the covers, man. It's already getting chilly in here. I don't have a thermometer with me or nothing.
Get your bag off the table. People eat there.
They eat on plates.
Don't give me any crap, Maisie.
I'm telling you.
Morning, y'all. It's cold. I don't even want to take the blanket off. Man, oh, well, you guys can't even see me. Hold on, let me try to get the rest of these curtains open. Ugh, chilly. Is that enough? Not really, no. Got a light in here. How about now? Oh, man. I slept great, but it is chilly. Oh, I should have brought my heater with. I just wasn't thinking. Yeah, 33 degrees out. Feels like 28. But it's a high of 61 today. Oh. Well, what do I want to do this morning? I just feel like hitting up the gas station for some coffee. I got some instant with me, but just my little cup. I didn't bring my mug that I could put in my fancy new cup holder. Might just hit the gas station. Oh, I'll figure it out. Well, since there's a gas station just basically right on the edge of the park, I am gonna head out there and see what we can find for breakfast, but I gotta grab my wood. It doesn't feel that bad out here for being 28 though. Or should I say supposedly feeling like 28 and being 33, I don't know what I said. Can't even see my breath. Maybe they're lying. This is the best part about the van. So you can just walk right to the front. Start with it this cold.
Over.
Let's see if we can find our way there. I can see it from here, but you got to get across this creek. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 spots to get across in town. It was a quiet park other than the road noise from the bridge, but that wore off pretty quickly as it got dark out. But I think that's what woke me up this morning. Yeah, the river's gorgeous down here. There's some big houses down there. There's a house right here, right on the edge of the park. And there are some, yeah, I feel like these might be permanent campsites for as many as there are there. There's an ice shack that's dropped down, an ice camper. Baseball fields here. The creek's just running behind all these houses right here. It's one thing I wish my property had was some water on it, but we might be able to make something like that happen. It's an old metal bridge here. Now we're over the creek. Downtown Decatur. Looks like an old school building. I don't know if that's still being used or not. It doesn't look like it. There's no sign on the front I can see. Yeah, I wonder, Decatur Public School. It'd be cool to get in that building. The little roof basket that I have on the truck it's on the passenger side of the roof. I bought that used from a lady here right on this street, and I got here and it turns out she was a subscriber of the channel. I should have like gone back in my messages and tried to hit her up for, although I'm sure I could have just parked on the street here last night. Although, does it say? No, it just says no truck parking. I feel like it was maybe right there that I met her. Yeah, I could have definitely gotten away with parking down here last night, but it is what it is. Alright, the gas station looks popping this morning. See what we can find. Ooh, bacon burrito. All right, y'all, made it back in the truck. Got ourselves a coffee and what looks to be a big old burrito. Bacon burrito, I think. A cup holder works nicely. Yeah, that's a big breakfast burrito for what I'm used to getting at gas stations. Not too shabby. Hell yeah, brother. Bacon and eggs. I made the right choice of the gas station this morning. Well, I think I got about an hour and a half drive home. Hour and 28 minutes. Not too bad. It was cool to finally see that Overlook. I've had that marked down on maps for probably at least 3 years at this point. I think one of you guys have even recommended going there. But it was a great night. Glad to get the van back out. As much as I'd like to drive this thing all year, I'm definitely not going to let this thing get rusted out by the salt around here. Yeah, I guess. Stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit. Bacon.